Hello, welcome to Doraemon the strategist. Okay, so years ago, before I did my before I started my YouTube, that was like years ago, that was like years ago lah. Maybe 5 or 6 years ago. When was this post? 2020 4 years ago, or around 4 or 3 years ago, before I did my YouTube stuff, because my YouTube have been doing for two years plus, so that was like 4 years ago, I had an account on Paradox Forum, so whenever I play my Hoi 4, I will share some of the so-called accomplishment on this forum. So that was like 4 years ago. So I think there was this post that was quite interesting. Because I was thinking of a strategy to beat the late game air superiority. So this is my post. Actually, my name was called Elite Ryoma, but I think because of censorship, they changed my name to I had a bad name 99. Okay, so this is the scenario lah. Enemy, you can read this. So basically, the enemy. So I was playing as Japan. Then I think I conquer the United States. The I took control of US, the most of USSR, China and USA. So the Axis power so my last enemy was the Axis power. They have the majority of the world except South America lah. So the enemy, the German right, by Chief France and Italy, they had at least 100,000 planes. So while Japan only had 55,000 planes. So that time I was thinking now if I were to invade the mainland Europe, I need to have air superiority. But I only have 55,000 planes, while the enemy each has at least 100,000 planes. So what I did was my defense strategy was I spam fortification level 10, intercept at least 5,000 in each zone and anti-air in Belarus, Ukraine, Turkey, and Leningrad area. Now 1972, very late due to long construction time. However, the Axis can easily damage my fortification due to overwhelming air power. For example, in Europe, they had 30k fighters and 5k bombers, while I only have 10k intercept in the area. So the thing is that why I spend fortification is because the Axis control most of Europe, and the Axis has a majority of the world, has control most of the world except USSR, China, and USA. So that means the Axis by this time have probably like thousands of divisions. So they can overrun. They can easily overrun whatever. They can easily overrun my army. Like they can easily overrun any borders that I share with them. Any land borders that I share with them. So my overall plan is to stay extremely defensive in Europe and Middle East, while I take Mexico, India, and Southeast Asia. But their overwhelming air superiority is undermining my defense. So this guy is quite good. I only my rank is colonel. I only reached the rank of colonel. But this guy, he's a field marshal. He told me to nuke the airfields maybe. So yeah, then this is how I reply. I say, haha, thought it actually. I learned it from Legend of Total War, a YouTuber who play similar campaign in Japan. His method is basically to nuke his way to Berlin or concentrate all areas. I might do it, but I want to see first if there's any other way, cause it's boring to copy the same method lah. So yeah, because the time I got watch Legend of Total War, his Japan world domination campaign. Yeah, it was quite entertaining. Yeah. So he said so this Kato, he replied, he said, this seems to be the easiest to me. Yeah. So yeah. So this guy tends to Kato, I thought of this idea of nuking the airfields. So if you control USA, Russia, and Asia, shouldn't you have absolutely superior industry compared to the Germans? You also control most of the oil and rubber in the world. Why can't you just outproduce that? Okay. Okay, this was like 4 years ago lah. So I think my my I definitely don't have the experience, and I don't have enough knowledge of how to do the economy part of Hoi 4 better now. Like if it's me now, I think I can probably outproduce I can probably outproduce the Axis. But that was like 4 years ago, so my experience and knowledge were not as deep as now. So yeah. So that's why I resort to this strategy. This new strategy, which is basically I plan to nuke every Axis airfield. Okay, then I say, oh yes, but not rubber. They have a huge oh yes, because I think the Axis because the Axis huge holdings like, so the Axis have huge holdings like Africa, Indonesia, Malaya, Mexico, India, and Australia. Romania has so the Axis power, they have huge holding like Africa, Indonesia, Malaya, Mexico, India, and Australia. So they have a lot of rubber. Yeah, the only thing I have a lot is oil because I had control of United States. United States was the largest oil producer by then. I also had control of the Caucasus and basically the Soviet Union because Soviet Union also have a lot of oil. So the Romania has enough. So the Axis power has control of Romania lah. So Romania has probably enough oil to supply the entire German industry, including UK, Belarus, Ukraine, Baltic state. Okay. So the Romania has probably enough oil to supply the entire German industry, including UK, Belarus, Ukraine, Baltic state. One plan I'm thinking of is to quickly seize British Malaya since they seems to have, okay, my grammar error. They seem to have fewer troops. They seem to have few troops there, giving me their access rubber, giving me their access. Mexico can also be conquered lah. The third is a simultaneous offensive against German holdings in former Soviet Union. So I have to basically need my way. Three simultaneous offensive: British Malaya, Mexico, Germany in former USSR. So three simultaneous offensive require careful planning. So I plan a simultaneous offensive. First capture British Malaya, then Mexico, then also the Germany in former the basically the because I conquer the USSR together with Germany. So the Germany has probably some parts of USSR. I think I had control over like, let me see. I had I had control over most of USSR lah, including Moscow and Caucasus. So yeah. Okay, then so edit. Turkey is also a good target. This guy, okay, this is still my post. Turkey is also a good target due to a large number of chromium. So I also can attack Turkey because Turkey has a lot of chromium. Both me and Axis shared with the former controlling most of chromium. Also, me and Axis power, we basically split the Turkey into half. So I control. So the Axis control most of the chromium rich territory in the west. So the Axis has the western half of Turkey while I had the eastern half of Turkey lah. So I control most of the so the Axis has most of the chromium rich territory in the west. So after I take Malaya, I have the plan. So after taking British Malaya, I will have a solid base to take Dutch East Indies. Yes. So I reply to this guy here. Basically, his way required to do so this I think Legend of Total War, he say, I think that time Legend of Total War talk about doing a huge preemptive strike. Yeah, the time Legend of Total War, he thought about doing a huge preemptive strike against the airfield. Quickly start an air superiority campaign like what the Israel did to Arabs in 6 Day War. I probably need at least 1 million men, 10,000 planes in each zone. Okay. Yeah, I think he said easiest. Yeah, I think yeah, Legend of Total War here. He talked about preemptive strike. So I probably need at least 1 million men, 10k planes in each zone, Ukraine, Belarus, and Baltic to take them out. Okay, so enemy is raining hell of storm. Okay, so this is okay. So I think Asia minus. So this was the time when I was learning how to be very good at like at like area strategy. So by this time, because now we are playing in 1940s 1974. Yeah, now the year is 1974. So yeah, I have control over the Caucasus. So I plan an air superiority campaign. So for me, look at the number of planes. The Axis have basically the Axis has 51,000 planes. 51,000 planes, and then I have only 14,000 plus planes and 2,000 bombers. The Axis have 9,000, nearly 10,000 plus bombers. So you look at the number of casualties that enemy inflicted on me. Yeah. So basically you look at the ratio. I lost like nearly three times the planes that they do. Yeah. So this was when I was still very inexperienced at Hoi 4. So this guy said Cuba at reasonable. Yeah, I got Cuba. Anyway, I just realized something. Okay. My estimated number of airplanes jumped from 50K, 55K to 96K after moving many planes out of reserve. I probably underestimate my air capabilities. Yeah, so because I was inexperienced, so my estimated number of airplanes. Yeah, so the time I was inexperienced. So I think okay, this Sophia X. Yeah, I think this person was quite nice. I remember either is she or he helped me a lot with like whenever I do this kind of thread, then he or she like answer a lot of my answer a lot of my question. So I think now you are in need of a qualified general staff to keep an eye on such minor things. Yeah, so I did this forum before I start my YouTube. Yeah. So I don't know that reserves are not included in the estimate. I not need to double check first. Yeah, because I was still learning the time. Uh, yeah, back then I was a noob lah. I was a noob You see, I need people to teach me. Why can't Jet 2 drop Fighter 3 easily? Agility is the only major I can see. Okay, I will go through a bit quickly. So you can read this. So all these are interesting facts. So all these are very smart people. I was studying the AI behavior just now regarding interception and I found out something interesting. For example, despite AI overwhelming superiority is still quite tactical in its deployment. Back then I was learning. For example, when I place you just send enough fighters as so despite AI overwhelming superiority is still quite tactical in its deployment play. For example, when I place 5k fighters 5k fighters on intercept mission, it will just send enough fighters as long as it has a number in its reserve to achieve air superiority. Once I increase to 30k, then it will send even more fighters, which means that there is a way to turn around as long as I can treat the AI and concentrate my planes accordingly. I jet to modify with a +5 agility and an agility boosting designer fight company. Those especially the first one important if you want to massacre enemy fighters. So you need to have yeah. Basically, I told you I also have my own learning path journey. Why work sufficient to offset the enemy numerical superiority and test that out? Do design company boost jet now? Okay, this one last time I didn't use this strategy, but now I learned to use like anti-aircraft to I learned to use anti-aircraft in my division so that I can negate the enemy air superiority while still winning the ground combat Yeah, it will take too long to grind 100,000 plane conventionally. This might be an extremely long campaign which I hesitant to complete. I did try to put a maximum of 60k planes and intercept, but it's too tedious. Yeah, back then I wasn't good at it I didn't appreciate the importance of like anti-air in negating enemy air superiority. So now I will try to I will try to equip every of my division with at least a battalion of anti-air. Okay. So this is my post again. I say this is how devastating enemy air superiority can be, nuking my troops and destroying airfields everywhere. I need to be on an offensive or spend enough fighters to intercept. Going to be extremely micro intensive, but plus there are so many fronts out there to manage. So I like enemy air superiority was quite devastating. Basically I got destroyed So yeah, so I maxed the agility on my Jet 2 fighters and I realized it's quite effective. Instantly effective if you have similar numbers. So when I maxed out my agility, I was able to get a very good kill ratio, 9:38. Even though the enemy has more plane. I have 9,000 plus plane, but the enemy has 14,000 plus plane. The peak of all expanding, ever expanding, Audrey expanding empires are too many fronts, too far apart, and nobody wants to be your friend. While not all is lost, I as Japan will be happy to share the entire world with the US like they plan to do historical. There can only be one. Okay, I think at this point I plan to give up I just like I plan to give up my campaign like I plan not to like defeat the Axis power because like I think it was impossible because they have too many planes so by this point I just plan to give up and so I because the time I had that time I wanted to conquer the entire world but since the Axis power was too difficult I was like okay whatever but this guy he basically stroked my ego. I said oh there can only be one. So when he said that he basically put me on the planning board again so he basically put me on the planning board. So I just decided to think of another strategy how to win. Yeah, I know it's nearly impossible. It's not sure. I feel like giving up. Germany is the land and aerial power. Japan is the naval power. Since I share a border with them, it's hard to remain defensive or invade their Southeast Asia holding, which takes time. The only way to defend is to spend a lot of troops, probably 3 million plus AA, fort, and aircraft at the western border, but it will take a lot of time. A faster way would be to focus on a major land offensive, concentrate all my air wings and breakthrough units while nuking my way, but it will take. Yeah, because I think Legend Total War, he basically did a tactical deployment of nukes. Basically, he thought of like winning every tactical battle by nuking your way. So it's like basically just if you want to win this battle between these two divisions, you just nuke the enemy. So he basically his idea is to nuke this enemy division. So your division when he attack will be easy will be able to win His one is a more of a tactical deployment of nukes. For me, I think I'm thinking of a more operational or strategic deployment of nukes. A faster way will be of course focus on a major land offensive of Berlin, concentrate on my air wings and breach unit while nuking my but it will take time since I need to travel from Moscow to Berlin. Not sure whether I want to continue. I wasn't initially playing for world conquest, just out for fun or historical purpose. But this guy I don't know why he put. Did he say fuck? I think censor. Maybe it's F fuck. First, you don't need to win air superiority. I can capture Berlin in 1943 with 1 to 2k plus plane while the enemy Germans still have 15k plus. My planes are for a brief of support for land offensive, not for killing fighter planes. Both sides can stay on air and bond each other as long as the weaker don't get outnumbered by 2:1. Even with that, you can switch to another air zone. So first, you don't need to win air superiority. My planes are for a brief of support for land my planes are for a brief of support for land offensive, not for killing fighter planes. So both sides can stay on the air and bomb each other as long as the weaker don't get outnumbered by 2:1. Even with that, you can switch to another air zone. So both sides can stay on air and bomb each other as long as the weaker. So both sides can stay in the air and bomb each other as long as the weaker don't get outnumbered 2:1. Even with that, you can switch to another air zone. Even the okay. So I say technically for once I don't really see how you even got to 1978. The game is not really meant to play too long. Yeah, I mean this is me like I tell you I'm like basically I'm the if I'm the I like to play in a very slow way Yeah, that's why I'm a strategist That's why I like to use Faber strategy because I'm a super patient I'm a super patient kind of person So yeah, it's me I like to drag until very long I think it was my habit like I will take a very when it comes to finishing my homework or project work, I will take a very long time to finish it Yeah, I'm just a very slow kind of person I'm just that's why I like to use favor strategy. Okay, technically the game never ends, so you can play as long as you. I can choose to play longer. I speed one world conquest before a round, but this time I choose to micromanage play at my own pace. It took me 8 years to subjugate Soviets invaded from Manchu, Germany. Of course, I made some tactical mistake along the way. You should have taken care of most of them. Sure. I've taken most of media. Unfortunately, the Axis got free holding in India and SEA due to a botched diplomatic event. So US declare war. Allow me. So I do have majority of oil, not rubber. So I think Germany helped me to took down USA. Both of us took part in taking down USA. Germany helped Mexico is given as because both of us took part in taking down the US. Okay. You can read lah. So I basically reply to every comment. Do you think about leveraging the whole axis industry with sorts of tier 3 rocket? Actually, this is a very good strategy. It's something I might want to try lah. It's a very good strategy. No wonder it's a field marshal. Okay, okay, so this is my strategy. Basically, this strategy is inspired by Legend of Total War and this guy Kito, because Kito was the one who first suggests the idea of nuking every airfield. So initially I didn't thought that could work lah. But now I decided to try it. So I say, okay, I have similar ideas, but something even more hardcore. Nucleus is right. I have 600 plus nukes that I can use to level the entire Axis industry due to my proximity in Europe. This plan is going to require an extremely long setup time. So I need to set up an extensive convoy ready system and mobilize my entire manpower reserve. I have 8 million plus unused for land, air, and navy. For example, in European Russia, I can put at least 3 million men in. For example, in European Russia, I can put at least 3 million. In European Russia, I can put at least 3 million men there lah. And 50,000 planes are there. Basically, once World War III start, I want an extremely decisive advantage, like a giant preemptive strike on a level that Germany or Israel couldn't achieve against their targets. Russia during Barbarossa and Arab states during Six-Day War. Every European states in Axis hands have to be nuked at one go. So I'm going to like nuke everyone at one go. During this long setup time, basically training more men, I need to conquer more territories though. South America, Sweden. So I have more industry resources and so I have more industry uh so I have more industry resources and land. So I have more industry resources and land. Okay. So I thinking on a very strategic way. Yeah, edit basically nuke them back to Stone Age. Can I just say that the fact that in an air war between 5 to 15,000 fighters, the daily death toll still stuck somewhere around in at the double digit, and this seriously mess up the air war. How so? You mean 100 planes should be jobs? Okay. Wait, so does that mean there's a limit to how much plane you can put? That means I'm not hopelessly outnumbered in the air. Okay, this is just a rough sketch of my plan to attain air superiority temporarily, so I can drop nukes all over the industry while a massive offensive force push in from the west. So because I had control. Okay, I think the German right had control over UK. The German right had control over UK. Yeah, the German right had control over UK. So I think how the fuck did I get to deploy my planes from the east? I think I know why. Because my jet strategic bomber can reach all the way from the Atlantic coast of USA to France. So these strategic bombers, they came all the way from USA. So the only way I can invade Axis control Europe is from the west, which is basically my holdings in Soviet Union. So I have control over Moscow and Caucasus. So I plan this is my setup. I have I have strategic bombers all over the entire Europe. So I have 4,000. Okay, so I have 4,000 jet fighters. 4,000 jet fighters in Germany, 1,000 jet bombers in Germany, 4,000 jet fighters and 1,000 jet bombers in Germany. Then I have 4,000 jet fighters from Turkey. Because you have to remember, I'm outnumbered by the Axis power. So I need this massive preemptive strike. Because the Axis power Okay, just now the audio is off. So back to what I say, back to what I say, yeah, basically, I'm outnumbered 3 to 1 in terms of fighter strength because the Axis power, which consists of Germany, Vichy France, and Turkey, each of them had at least like 100,000 planes, while I only have 90,000 planes. So I basically outnumber at least 3 to 1 in terms of fighter strength. So I designed this like preemptive strike. Basically, I plan to nuke every airfield. Okay, nuke every industry. I'm talking about industry. I think I'm targeting the industry, right? Or the airfields. Okay, never mind. So yeah. So this is in 1978. So by this time, the Axis can churn out a massive number of planes. Then this massive air superiority campaign is dropping my fuel from almost infinite due to my Texas oil to 42 days left of oil. So I plan to do a massive preemptive strike. Then I quickly invade the Europe from the west with my land forces. Okay, so there's some technique versus stick defense. First is killing wheel advance. You can use your tanks to attack enemy infantry. The enemy tanks. Also, there's some technique versus stick defense. First is killing wheel advance. You use your tanks to attack enemy tanks or infantry in plane, but don't advance to basically I just use my tanks to kill them, but don't advance to undefensible terrain. You get good kill loss ratio and hitting out enemy in section. Okay. Second is to attack from one direction to lower combat with non-stop with a lot of 10 division and good AA. Even if they have much more in the process, it is their infantry versus our 10 and they will not gain out and do this to encircle. So first is to attack from one direction to lower combat with non-stop. Attack from one direction, lower combat with non-stop with loss of 10 division and good AA. Non-stop, okay, even if they are much more in the province, it is their infantry versus our 10 and they will not regain or they will not regain or and the province can be captured. Do this to encircle enemy. Then they may have less oil than you. Yes, but the issue is not them but me. The amount of mission to carry out this air supremacy over entire Europe is draining my oil reserve. Just too expensive. Yeah, I thought so. In fact, I've prepared 3 Panzer groups for massive offensive into Europe. Pray your work. Okay. Okay. Yeah. You can let TAC to You can use late game tag to flash green air in airspace away from front, then nuke the airfield. Prevent the AI from beating you in the air, even if they have 5 times the number of plane. Not enough viable. You can use late A to flash. The alternative is just put SA. Yeah. Back then I wasn't experienced enough. Yeah, this is something I pattern. There was a concern regarding air superiority. I came up okay because they didn't need air superiority to use a night nukes. Okay, this is just this guy just criticized me. Okay lah, so this is my reply. Yeah, this is just my reply. Okay, so basically this is my huge invasion force. So this is like World War 3. So far World War 3 is going on. I follow people advice to use 500 nukes on the entire Axis industry. With their civilian factories mostly destroyed, they have a hard time repairing back. So I basically nuke every industry. I nuke the airfields, the major cities, the port. With their civilian factories almost destroyed. Yeah. Is there a picture of me nuking? I remember there's a picture, so I encircled the Axis division. Okay, try again. World War III just began. I declare war on Germany. There were a few hours of silence after my fighters took off from their airbase and now they were on their way to their targets, airfields, in industry centers, major city. Finally, my airplanes arrived. Video job. Oh shit! Oh, okay. I need to save this picture. This picture. I'm putting my thumbnail. Yeah, I nuke every industry. So I set up the whole thing. Okay. Oh shit. Boom, targeting the airfield. So the first step is to target their airfields. The airfields. Then second, the next wave basically I follow the Pearl Harbor way. First wave, second wave. So first wave is to target the airfields. Second wave is to target all major and minor cities. Oh shit. Then third wave, before I lost air supremacy over Europe, I target all. Okay, because before I lost air supremacy all over Europe, because like the enemies have more fighter planes than me. So I basically do this is just a preemptive shot. So before I lose air supremacy over here, I target all industry center, Rhineland, Central Italy, and Eastern Italy, and Eastern Germany. Okay, so this is my plan for Mexico. Yeah, the Axis have control over Mexico. So for the offensive, I'll concentrate two panzer groups to advance into areas with no mountain. Another infantry army is en route from Cuba. So it's not sure here. I also have to nuke most of. I also have to nuke most of the country, port, airfields, oil fields to gain an initial advantage. So air superiority is just awesome. The Axis is running low on oil and soon rubber. Look at the destruction. Yeah, running low on oil and they are run. So I made them run out of oil. I made the Axis power run out of oil. You just initiate a mass extinction event. I basically knew every province in 90% of Germany, including mainly the industrial region. Italy also got a lot of punishment because it's a narrow peninsula, so I just nuked central Italy and some parts of northern and southern Italy. I'm not sure whether this destroy air equipment, but the massive German Air Force got half because they were so the massive German Air Force got half because they were in their airfields when World War II started. I couldn't nuke entire northern France, though Paris got here. The entire southern England, northern England, and some parts of Scotland also got decimated because they were in German hands. So Romania got every province nuked because of Romanian oil. All in all, I think the Axis were in the same state as post World War II, utterly devastated except for France and Spain. I think what is more devastating about nuclear bomb as compared to basically I wipe out the entire civilian industry, so the recovery is almost non-existent. Berlin is still in utter ruins. Level 10 devastation even 3 months. So what is more devastating about nuclear bombing compared to conventional bombing is that the entire civilian industry gets wiped out. So the recovery is almost non because you need civilian factories to repair all your buildings, your airfields, you repair all your airfields, repair all your stuff. So Berlin is still in utter ruins. Level 10 devastation even 3 months after World War III started. So victory everywhere in the sea. Yeah. So I basically advanced. Oh, not yet, not yet. Oh, this is the sea battle. How many Panzer divisions the Axis had in the start? Looks like AI still goes on 95% infantry even in 1980 after. Okay, someone suggests you to use mechanized infantry. Even until now, I still don't know how to use them effectively. When I invade USA in 1945, they burned 3 million men against my mechanized infantry and only got 40,000 lost. Okay, this is a bit of a side chat, but I like how the Blitzkrieg is affecting my organization recovering. It's because I'm rushing a huge offensive towards Poland. So I was pushing towards Poland. In Europe, Germany seems to have 16 to 20,000 Panzer division. Not sure about the others. Yeah. So this is my template. This is my Panzer division template. My infantry template. I got 184,000 casualties against German 5.4 million casualties. What a joke with the AI. You might try expert AI mode. I will move your 10 manually. Okay lah, so this is how I basically start winning war against the German allies, the Germans are. So Battle of Warsaw Encirclement. Yeah. So the last one. So this was what I've done like 4 years ago. Well, we thought World War III was going to happen in 1980s, but we for sure thought it would be the Russian coming from the east. Who have thought it would be the Japanese? Still nervous though, the enemy had tons of division are worried that their air force might recover and retaliate. I crippled their oil supply to be safe. So I crippled their oil supply to be safe. It's a distance from Berlin with huge amount of troops. Huge. I basically copied Donald Trump the way he thought. Huge. Okay, Romania is getting the worst abuse due to their oil field. So I basically just nuke Romania. I basically just bombed Romania. Do a conventional strategy bombing of Romania. So I took Sumatra. Take their. I suspect the enemy will have. Sorry, I suspect the enemy will now have serious issue in building his air force because I need all the airfields, the industry, the oil. I also need the civilian factories. So they cannot rebuild their military factories, their damaged buildings, their airfields. I do hope so. That's why I keep certain regions suppressed with strategic bombing. Italy, Eastern, they still managed to rally a sizable force of 6,000 in Scotland by keeping my smaller force of 2,000 to tie them down there. More importantly, the air cover for my land forces advancing towards Germany is still overwhelming, so I can eliminate it ASAP. Okay. Final push into Berlin with 3 panzer groups and 7 armies. Pray it will end well. AI doesn't maintain air superiority behind front line. You can deploy. Okay. Okay, this one just some of stats you want to read. Okay. So a lot of very smart Hoi 4 players here. Okay. This is just mean very mathematical about it. Because I got read the wiki. Yeah. This being mathematical about it. Okay, for I was able to beat down US air superiority thanks to the advice of some fella here. Okay, so this is the last post. Okay, so good.